So that was it. Yeah? That was Inexpert 2018. Whatever your experience was of it is what your experience was of it. So notice how it's made you feel, how it makes you feel now, how different it is from when you came in. And knowing that it can never happen again, how does that make you feel? Because even in the build-up to this, so many people said, if it goes well, you're going to make it bigger or better, bigger and better. There's a couple of flaws in that argument there. One is that well exists. There is no good, there is no bad. There is no well or not well. Form is emptiness and emptiness is form. And if anything, I want to make it smaller and worse. So be curious about this. This type of work, this sort of counterpoint to what dominant thinking is like a roast dinner. It carries on cooking when you take it out of the oven. Yeah? So this will settle. You might wake up screaming in 3 months' time, going, ah! But to be curious about that. Culture change, fundamental culture change, should feel, look, and smell countercultural. If not, it's just more of the same. So doing something that breaks loops of common sense gets us unstuck. How do we disturb habitual thinking? How do we take risks? And everyone involved in here has done that today. If someone speaks from a position of inexpertise and no one hears them, are they an expert? I was trying to be profounder. But this is an act of witnessing, of being present with each other. So before we wrap up and I tell you where the pub is, so you don't just all run off mid-sentence, there's a number of thank yous for today. All of the speakers had exactly the same brief, which was come along, talk on a subject that you're passionate or interested in, but have little or no expertise or experience in. And there's an important link there between passion and not knowing. And I think you'd agree, all of them have turned up, not just not giving a toss. There's a few little near enemies of this. It could end up being a gimmick, it could end up just being someone winging it that doesn't care. But they've brought both their passion and expertise together. So I'd like to thank Meg, Kay, Matt, James, Deborah, Hilary, Rowan, John Smith, Doug, Ola, Gary, John, and Rob, and Paul Stanley, who didn't know he would be speaking. But then also to Kieran, who sends her love and best wishes, who couldn't be here, and Claire, who couldn't be here. They have been part of the experiment. This is just one part of the experiment. There's a load that goes before and after it. So can we have a big round of applause and thank you to our speakers. The other people I'd like to thank are the volunteers, and this blew me away even more than the fact that people showed up and people wanted to speak, is people said, yeah, I'll do stuff. All of the volunteers have played out of position today. There are brilliant coaches amongst them, brilliant photographers not taking photos, all sorts in there. So I'd like to thank Sally and Charlie for doing front of house. I'd like to thank Steve Marshall for taking photos. So Steve's an interesting one because he is a photographer and a very good photographer, but he's been experimenting, because everything's about mindful photography nowadays, he's been experimenting all day with mindless photography. So we'll see what happens. So thank you, Steve. I'd like to thank Sophie for filming this. Sophie, can I share our email exchange beforehand? This demonstrates Sophie's level of expertise here. She sent me an email saying, yep, just tell me where to sit and how to press play. And then I pointed out, well, it's this record we really want you to press. But what has been so important is the technical skills in all of this do not matter. It's the passion and the willingness to explore and have an adventure. So thank you, Sophie. I'd also thank Kath, my wife, for sticking with me. But who's been stage manager, who's been looking after all the people here and using our Inexpert timer. And Robert Dunsmore, I don't know if Robert's still here and lurking at the back, I can't see anything. Robert runs a big events company and just donated his time and resources to create stuff like this, which must cost a fortune, all for free. So if we can have a big round of applause for the volunteers. Also, Joe and Caris from CityLit. CityLit have been brilliant in this. When I first spoke to them about using this venue, they said, we've never used it for anything like this before. So I was like, perfect. That's exactly what we need. Caris only started in this job, although she's an experienced audio engineer, like a couple of weeks ago. And literally everything we've thrown at them has been wonderful. So thank you to CityLit. Couple more. James Wilson, who's not here, but he may turn up a bit later. So James, well, we don't need to say any more. You saw what he did. He really went for it with the Inexpert exhibition. And Ian Tucknott, again, it's where CityLit really impressed me. Have said, yeah, we'll ask our art students to donate this work and to work with it. So James isn't here, but Ian and the CityLit students for the artwork. Round of applause. And then finally, of the official thank yous, I think we need to thank Mr. Nick Parker for his... Again, similar to James, Nick was similar to James, where I thought, you could do a talk, but I've thought of something much more interesting. And he's totally embraced it, and Nick will play us out at the auditorium one last time at the end. And then, I don't know how to say this without sounding cheesy, but it's pointless without anyone coming here. Without people sticking here, and this is rather, I imagine there are moments where you're thinking, this is deeply uncomfortable, or this is really exciting, or what the hell am I doing here? But it doesn't work without you. So a big round of applause for the audience, please. A couple of final things. Oops, I revealed the pub too early. Everyone run off, yeah. People have already, I've not looked at my phone all day for stuff other than notes. Spread the word, yeah? What I love about this is loads of people saying, oh, I'll come to the next one. You've missed it, yeah? These wonderful items, like I'm wearing and Kath's modelling as well, and Simon White is wearing, and various other merchandise are available on the website. Two reasons for that. One is that all the money from it goes back into the lab fund, which funds other experiments such as this. So this entire thing, no one has made any profit of it. CityLit have barely made a profit of it. So if you want to buy some merchandise and people go, what's that? And you say, well, too late, you've missed it. And the other thing, I wanted this to be like the Velvet Underground Live 1969 album, where everyone claims to have been there. But really, there was a few hillbillies and a few transvestites, and that was it. Yeah? So if you wander around, if you see someone else wearing something like this, you say, oh yeah, what did you like best? Did you like Hillary's words of wisdom or something like that? And you can catch them out, so do that. And finally, the Sun Tavern. If you all go, I'm screwed. This isn't free, but they've reserved us a space. They just said, yeah, there's a space we can go, because having a drink in Covent Garden with any more than 2 people on a Friday night's a nightmare. I don't know if... Yeah, well, just go there. You can get in with a badge. I'll be along there later once I've tied it up. So there's the address and everything. Hope to see some of you there for a drink. And that's it. As Nick Parker takes centre stage to play us out. Can we thank you too? You can. Thank you. Thank you. That was Inexpert. Thank you and good night.
You just had that.
Ha